So you can see from these examples that the injury, the psychological injury that is often presented in court cases is very broad, and it's much broader than what many people believe, but it involves many different kinds of situations where psychological injury can occur. One area that I have done a lot of cases on, where I practice a lot, is in motor vehicle accidents. And if you just think about the number of motor vehicle accidents that occur, 2% of everyone has a motor vehicle accident each year. And basically 25% of all people, prevalence estimates indicate that 25% of all people have some sort of automobile injury that's sustained in their lifetime. And so, again, your job is not to testify about what kind of injury occurred, physical injury, but about the psychological injury that accompanies some of the motor vehicle accidents. And so you can see that, again, if you want to practice in personal injury, there's ways that you can specialize, and there's different kinds of attorneys that you can work with and that are eager to have good experts work with them. Another area that is a good area of practice for psychologists is in workman's compensation cases. Now, these are a little bit different than in typical civil tort cases. In workman's compensation cases, you usually deal with an administrative law judge, which is not a typical civil criminal kind of law judge. But there are all kinds of individuals that have sustained work injuries, and usually each state has their own workman's compensation fund, and they have their own rules, but they're always looking for a psychologist to present testimony about, again, the psychological injury that often accompanies the physical injury in workman's comp cases. The area of practice is very broad here, and it's very intellectually challenging, and it provides many opportunities for you to specialize in some areas. And if you specialize in some areas, then in many cases that will magnify your practice, make it larger, because once attorneys begin to know that you focus on motor vehicle accidents, for example, then you know, those attorneys that deal with that will contact you. One of the areas that I've practiced in a good deal is in lawsuits regarding smoking. Now you might think, well, what does that have to do with personal injury? Well, a lot of times, you know, the issue is when people become disabled because of having a lifetime of smoking, and they feel like that has caused them to have cancer. Well, then a lot of times psychological damages go into punitive findings of the court on damages that often occur with cancer cases.